Welcome to Looking in the Mirror podcast. I am Monique. Today's scripture is 2 Corinthians 12, 7 through 10. And it says, "Or because of these surprisingly great revelations, therefore, in order to keep me from becoming conceited, I was given a thorn in my flesh, a messenger of Satan to torment me. 3 times I pleaded with the Lord to take it from me. But he said to me, 'My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. Therefore, I will boast all the more gladly about my weaknesses, so that Christ's power may rest on me. That is why, for Christ's sake, I delight in weakness, in results, in insults, in hardships, in persecutions, in difficulties. For when I am weak, then I am strong.'" The reason I chose this particular scripture is because I actually recently watched a content creator, and I'm so sorry, I forgot her name, but she was talking about how she was delivered from a specific sin, how it felt as though basically someone had took her brain and basically gave her a new brain, new concept, new everything. So the desires that she used to have, the sins that she used to think about constantly, she no longer thought about that. She no longer cared about it. That desire was completely taken away from her. Now, in contrast to that, there was another creator that actually watched her video and was mad. I say mad, he was very angry. I say he was mad because what he was saying was that he felt as though what she was saying would lead people astray. That because he prayed for God to take his sin away from him, his desires away from him for so long, but yet God never took it away. I think that there is a misconception on the fact that we wrestle with sin, we deal with it, but some people are under the impression that just because you ask God to take it away, that he's automatically going to take it away. It doesn't work like that. And I think that's one reason why this particular content creator, the one who responded to her, was so angry, because he said that God did not take that sin or that desire from him. He didn't want that particular desire. He's not always going to take it away from you. He's not always going to take it. Even Paul said he had a thorn in his side and he pleaded with God, "Take it away. Take this thorn from me." But he would not do it. What was God's response? "My grace is sufficient." Yes, there are some things that when you ask God to deliver you from it, he will deliver you from it. He will take it from you. But then there are also things he will not take from you. That is your cross to bear. If that were the case, nobody would need to go to God or seek God on a daily basis. If he just up and took everyone's sin away from them when they ask, "Take this away, I don't want it." He takes it. We're human. So when we get what we want, we're not going to keep seeking. That's just the nature of the beast. That's just the way we are. For example, I stated before, when we are happy, that's usually the least time we spend in prayer. It's when we're suffering, when we're going through things, when we are constantly praying, when we are constantly seeking his face. Again, the nature of the beast is just something about being human, and that's just how we are. When we are happy, we're too busy being happy and living our lives, living our best lives. So we don't have time to sit in prayer. We don't have the time to seek his face. But when we're struggling or going through something, that's when we make sure we find the time to seek his face. That's when throughout the day, we're constantly praying to him. We're constantly seeking answers. We're constantly looking towards him. It's unfortunate, but in most cases, it's true. I'm sure it's not the case for everyone, but in most cases, that is the case. So when it comes to your sin, whatever your sin is, whatever your desire is, with me, anybody that knows me personally knows my thing, where I want him to just take what I crave sugar. And I know some people like that's not really, technically it is. It's a desire. It's not good for the body, but it's something that I struggle with. It's something that I've always struggled with. I crave sugar. I love sweets. I love that. So to me, take it. Has he taken it? No. I have to die to myself every day. I have to die to flesh every day. And a lot of people don't understand that. So do we get angry at him because he didn't take it from us? No, we don't get angry at him because he didn't take it from us. We continue to seek. We have to understand that that is our cross to bear. That's something that we're going to struggle with. Just like if someone says that they're an addict, they're always an addict. Even if you haven't done it for 20 years, you're still an addict. You still have to wake up every day and make the conscious decision to not do that again, to not go back on that drug again, to not smoke again, to not take cocaine again, or whatever the addiction was. You have to make a conscious decision and effort every day to stay clear of that and not do it. Now, with Paul in 2 Corinthians, there was a thorn in his side, and he pleaded with the Lord, take this from me. He didn't say what the thorn was, so we have no idea. Well, it could have been anything. It could have been a very sinful desire. It could have been sugar. We don't know. He did not specify what it was. But the fact of the matter is, the point I'm trying to make is, even Paul was saying, take this from me. Take this thorn out of my side. But he didn't. What was the Lord's response? My grace is sufficient. What does that mean? My grace is sufficient. It means that you can get through it. It means that he is going to be there for you. It means that you need to keep looking towards him. Keep your eye on him. Do not give up, but you are to continue to seek him. His grace is sufficient, but you have to believe it and you have to understand it and you have to lean on him in order to get through whatever it is that you're going through. Lord knows I've gone through certain things. Anybody that knows me, even if you don't personally know me, within my book, Broken Wings, I talk about the fact that I've dealt with stomach cancer. I dealt with divorce. Been there, done that. The cancer thing, been there, done that. The hair breaking off, falling out, been there, done that. The body being disfigured, been there, done that. Done all of those things. So there were plenty of thorns in my side, whether I caused them or not. In other words, you're not always the cause for whatever it is that you're going through. Sometimes you are, but sometimes you're not. A lot of times when you're going through something, it is simply to bring you closer to him. Had I not gone through that stomach cancer, I would not have a relationship with the Lord. I say that because before I went through all of that, I was in my own world doing my own thing. I was all about me. I thought I was the one that got me through everything. I thought I was the one that did everything when it came to graduating in college, when it came to getting a job, when it came to running my business. When I was under the impression that I did all of that. No, we don't do anything. He does it all. He gives us the grace. He gives us the mercy. He gives us the tenacity. He gives us the courage. He gives us the energy to get up and do whatever it is that we are doing. We do nothing, but we are under the impression that we do. And that's part of what's wrong with society. That's part of what's wrong with just being human, period. We're me, me's, I's. And me and I didn't do a thing. He did it all. But my point is, to get back to my point, that particular content creator that was so angry because God did not take that particular desire from him, he had the concept or the mind, he had the idea that just because you ask him to take it from you, he's going to take it from you. And that means that he sees you, that he listened to you. Doesn't always work like that. You have to work daily. That is your cross to bear. As I've said before, you have to work at it daily. You have to make a conscious effort daily to stay clear of whatever it is that your flesh, because that's all it is, your flesh is desiring. That's why it's called you have to die to yourself. That's why they say that you have to die to yourself. Many don't understand the concept of what it means to die to yourself. That means you are to deny your flesh. You deny your flesh. You deny what it is that you want. You deny those desires that you know are contrary to God's plan for you. You know that those desires and those thoughts, whatever those actions are, you know it's contrary to what the word says, it's contrary to what he wants for you. So you have to die to yourself daily. You have to deny your flesh. You have to make up in your mind and say, okay, I'm going to seek God. I'm going to pray. I'm going to fast, do whatever I can or whatever I need to do in order to stay clear of that particular sin. I know that's not good for me. I know that's against what he said. I know it. I read it. I feel it in my heart. So I know it. But a lot of people don't know that. A lot of people seem to think, and one particular thing that the second content creator said was that he just basically was going to just deal with it. In other words, this is me. This is how I am. God doesn't make mistakes, which he does not make mistakes. God does not make mistakes at all. So he was basically trying to convince himself, which is what a lot of people do. They try to convince themselves and say that, oh, well, this is just me. He doesn't make mistakes. So he made me this way. So this is what I'm just going to do it because of, whatever. But that's not how that works. So what does it mean to be born in sin, since he does not make mistakes. He doesn't make mistakes. No, we are made in his image. We are created in his image. However, we come here with certain things in our DNA from our parents, whatever our parents have done, whatever's in their DNA, whatever's in their blood. We pick up on things, habits that our family has picked up on, that our mother and father have done. We don't know the sins of our fathers. We don't know the sins of our mothers. We don't know the sins of our grandparents. So there are certain things that we are born with. We may be born with something going on in our head where we think something is right, but does that mean that God made us that way to do that? No. Jeffrey Dahmer was made too he came here with his head not right. I believe they did a study on his brain and there were things that were not normal. But does that mean that God created him to become a serial murderer? No, that's not what that means. We are created in his image. We have his body. We're created in his image. However, we come here with sin already basically imprinted in our DNA, in our spirits. Again, you don't know when you're born, your parents don't know what your personality is going to be like. They don't know what kind of bad habits, I'll say, that you're going to pick up from them or from your grandparent that you never even met, yet somehow you're just like that grandparent, or you're doing the same thing that grandparent did that was a complete sin that you never even met that grandparent. So no, you can't, it's not, and that's where the misconception comes in, is because people are not fully understanding what it means to be born in sin and what it means to die to self daily. And just because you ask him to take something away or plead with him to take something away from you because you know it's wrong doesn't mean that it's necessarily going to be taken from you. That particular thing that you're dealing with could be the very thing that helps others realize, okay, this isn't right. This is against everything that the Lord said. So if it's against what he said, how is it right? Again, he would not create you wrong. He does not make mistakes, but you're still going to be born with certain instincts. You're still going to be born with certain desires that are not necessarily right, that are not necessarily things that he agrees with, but you have to work at that. That is your cross to bear. That's what you have to deal with. You have to find a way over that. And part of finding a way over that particular desire, over that particular instinct or sin, is prayer, is fasting, is looking to him. It's not coming up with excuses and saying, okay, he made me this way, so he knew, so hey, I'm just gonna live that way, and that's the way that's going to be. And it doesn't work like that. You have to overcome whatever sin it is that you're dealing with. You have to overcome it. You pray to him, you ask for guidance, and you seek him, but you have to overcome it. It's not always going to be just taken away from you. Now, the first content creator, she stated that he did take it from her. Yes, sometimes that does happen, but who knows why some people he will take things from them if they ask, and some he won't. We don't know. I don't know your journey. He's the only one that knows your journey. He's the only one that knows the path that you're supposed to be on. But there is frustration that does come with that at times, because when we don't know the path we're supposed to be on, we can make excuses and say, okay, I'm just going to do this. This is what I feel is right. Your feelings have nothing to do with it. That's another thing. The way you feel has absolutely nothing to do with what God put you on this earth to do. Again, it's not about you. It's not about your feelings. It's not about me, I. Your feelings will get you in a lot of trouble. I even told my daughter this when we had a discussion about feelings. You realize how many women are still in abusive relationships because of how they feel. How many people are sitting in prison right now because they acted on something, because of how they felt at the time. Your feelings will get you 6 feet under. So you cannot go off of your feelings just because you feel a certain way. It doesn't work like that. You have to go beyond the physical. And beyond the physical is going beyond the way you feel. Because a lot of times the way you feel has absolutely nothing to do with what it is that you're supposed to be doing. Another misconception that the second content creator had is that he kept saying that you should just love and accept people regardless, of whatever. That is not, one has nothing to do with the other. And I'm saying this as a mother and as an example. You love your child, right? You love your child just like God loves us. But when your child is doing something that you know is wrong, do you accept what they're doing wrong? No. But that doesn't stop you from loving them. One has nothing to do with the other. That goes back to people trying to come up with excuses to continue to do the things that they know are wrong. One has nothing to do with the other. I can love you, but that doesn't mean I'm going to accept whatever sin you're doing. One has nothing to do with the other. I don't understand why people don't get that. I don't understand why people say, oh, you just accept. You love them, so you just accept them. No, I'm not going to accept the fact that you're going out and doing all of these things that I know you're not supposed to be doing just because you're my child or just because I love you. No, I love you, but I'm not accepting the sin. Those are two different things. Why people don't get that, I don't understand. But as a mother, when my child does something wrong that I know is a sin, or if I know that it's just wrong in general, it's not morally right, whatever it is, that doesn't stop me from loving her. But that doesn't mean, oh, just because she's my child, I'm going to accept the sin that she keeps doing. No, one has nothing to do with the other at all. But there's this spirit going around where people are under the impression that that's what that means. And that is not what that means. So understanding the difference between loving someone, loving your child, whomever it is that you love, and accepting their sin, whatever it is that they're doing, especially if it's something that you know can lead to harming themselves, them being harmed physically, hurting themselves, or them being hurt physically, spiritually, whatever it may be. You're not going to accept that just because that's your child and you love them. One has absolutely nothing to do with the other. And I think that is a big misconception when it comes to Christianity. That is a big misconception when it comes to just people in general thinking that. And yes, you love your neighbor as you love yourself, but that has nothing to do with accepting whatever they're doing if it's wrong and it can bring harm. Even if it's not bringing harm to other people, but it can bring harm to them, whether it be physical or spiritual. Totally different. But people they're not compartmentalizing it. They're not understanding the difference. I don't understand why they don't understand the difference. I don't get it, especially if you have a kid, but hey. So I think mainly a lot of people, including myself, because I don't know everything. Again, I don't know everything. But I think a lot of people need to go back into the scriptures and try to just read a little bit more, open their minds a little bit more, and not just read, but try to understand it and ask the Holy Spirit to actually help you understand, okay, what does this mean? Does this mean that I have to like everything that they do, just accept everything that they do, even though I know that where the end of the road is going to be for them in the end? No, that's not what that means. So understanding that we all have a thorn in our side. We all do. We all have something that we're dealing with. Everyone. Some things he will take from you. Some things will not be taken from you. You would just have to, that's your cross to bear. That's what you have to deal with. That's just your thing that you are going to struggle with. We all have something. One person may have something that's really, really high on the list. And what I mean by high on the list is something that is very detrimental and just can get them and everybody else in the home killed, and somebody may have something that's just going to affect them. But we all have something that we are dealing with. We all have a thorn in our side. But we can't get mad at God because he doesn't take it from us. We just have to learn how to deal with it. We have to learn how to seek him daily. We have to learn how to seek his face, look for him, and not lean on our own understanding. Because why the first content creator, why he took it from her, but he didn't take it from the second one, that's not for me to know. I don't know. All you can do is deal with what you have in front of you to be dealt with. That's all you can do. So if he did not take it from you, you know that that's something that you're going to struggle with for the rest of your life. You have to fight it, and it's not going to be easy. It's just not. But again, as he said, his grace is sufficient. His grace is sufficient. It will help you get through it. Whatever it is that you're going through, he will help you get through it. That doesn't mean he's going to just make it go away. Sometimes, yes, depending on the person. Why one person over the other, I don't know. Everyone is different. But you have to look at it that way. And you can't make excuses for continuing to do something that you know is wrong. You can't make excuses for that. We are created in his image, but we don't have his mind. We have to connect our mind to his. You have to bind your mind to the mind of Christ, or try to bind your mind to the mind of Christ, because the whole point is we're trying to be Christ-like. You're trying to live a righteous life. You have to get there. It's not going to just come overnight. You have to literally get there. It's a daily thing. It's a daily thing. Even people that have been delivered, you don't get delivered and, that the rest of your life is just set up. No, doesn't work like that. In fact, it can get worse. I know that for a fact, because the enemy is not going to mess with you if he already has you. So why is he going to try to make your life a living hell if he already has you? There's nothing, but if he doesn't have you and you have come into the light and you realize, okay, you're a Christian now, and yeah, he will come. your life will get harder. A lot of people don't say that too. That's another misconception. People think that your life gets easier just because you're a Christian, just because you get baptized, just because you just, no, it can get worse. And I'm telling you that from experience, it can get worse. But it's the Spirit that is going to get you through it. It is His Spirit that is within you that is going to get you through it. And it is going to be your consistency with looking towards Him that will maintain that deliverance, not a one-time shot. No, it's a continual thing. So that is all for today on this particular episode of Looking in the Mirror podcast. And if you're wondering why I decided to name it Looking in the Mirror, because me as a woman, as a mother, as a daughter, when I look in the mirror, I want to see a specific reflection looking back at me. I want to see someone, I want to be someone that I can be proud of, someone that my child can be proud of, someone that my parents can be proud of, someone that my Father in heaven can be proud of. So when I look in the mirror, what do I see? When you look in the mirror, what do you see? What is looking back at you? Whether it's your flaws, whether it's what you've done right, what you know you need to do to get right, but you have to take a look at yourself before you can judge anybody else. You have to take a look at yourself before you can even get yourself right. You have to look in the mirror and you have to take a look at yourself in order to do anything, whether it's helping your neighbor, helping your child, helping your family, or even just bettering yourself, getting yourself better. You have to first look in the mirror and look at yourself. So I hope and pray everyone has a wonderful and blessed day. I will see you next time. God bless and be safe.